Mic check.
Mic check, 1, 2. Taxi driver. Yo, my strength for the hour.
Bro, I do kind of look like a taxi driver.
No, oh, I was just because that was the last song I was listening to on Spotify. Was Bad Religion. So I was in my head.
What it do, what it don't, what it is, and what it ain't. It's your boy Don Otaku, aka Don Solo, aka Solo the Don, aka Solo D Swaggy, aka Dontron 3000. Not to be confused with like Jontron, because we don't fuck with him anymore. But
no.
shout out to Deltron. You know who that is.
I have no clue who that is.
Del the funky Homo sapien? No? worked with the Gorillas a lot. And
funky Homo sapien.
old school rapper. I mean, I wouldn't say not old school, but like our time, back in the day.
Back in the day. Oh, he's from
Like
Oakland too. Damn,
Tony Hawk Pro Skater soundtrack.
Yo.
Like
I should know this guy.
He was that dude. But yeah.
I see.
And this is my beautiful Dark Twisted Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast. As you can see, we got the Kanye backgrounds.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. We gonna see about that new album, but you know.
Nah, if
he already
put his yeah.
He already did what he needed to do. Anything else is bonus.
He's just having fun at this point.
But yeah, this is episode number 10. 10. I actually don't have anything special for this. I didn't even realize it was episode 10 until I looked. I was like, oh
good.
This is episode 10.
We only celebrate the big milestones.
There we go. But yeah, of course I am here with Subagels, aka Subeg, aka the Green Thumb, aka the Gaming Gardener, aka Reggie Jackson's #1 fan.
Reggie.
What it do? What go down? What you been up to?
Same as last week, to be honest. I've been doing hella homework, but I have been gaming a little bit though. I've been gaming a little bit more. I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to do my homework so I can make more time for me to play games. But no, I'm good. I came back from the gym. My legs are, dude. When you don't hit like leg day after a while, and then you do end up doing it, you're like extra sore. So it's like my soreness is on like ×2 right now, and like especially my legs, bro. They feel like fucking like cylinder blocks right now. Like it's kind of bad, but but I still went. I still hit the treadmill and stuff. I just did abs because I can't really like move that well. Moving like an old man, but I'm doing good though. I'm doing good. What about you?
What's up? Shit. Working. A little bit of gaming. I didn't get as much gaming in this week because I decided to catch up on the fall season anime that I've been missing out on. So I had to set some gaming time back to get some anime time in. Otaku was in full force this week.
You were in otaku mode today or this week, huh? Yes, sir.
And this season is whack. Just there's a lot of just really uninteresting generic ass anime this season, and not that many like continuations of anime that I've liked in the past that are coming back for like a season 2, season 3. So it's not looking too good. I'm probably gonna drop a lot by like a few weeks in. I'm probably gonna be dropping a bunch of them, so then I'll have more time for gaming. But yeah, with that, let's go ahead and talk about what we have been playing. I'll actually go first because I don't really have too much.
Yeah.
So, surprisingly, I've been or I'll actually just start with this one. So, me and Spitta, we back on TMNT, Splintered Fate, because we still haven't beat it. We took a break for a while because of the move and everything, and we finally had a chance to really get back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck this game. Super Megacorp, Super Evil Megacorp, or whatever your name is. Count your fucking days, because I love roguelikes, and there is something about roguelikes where you hit a certain point in the game where, you know, like, there's a sense of, oh, I'm getting stronger, I'm getting better, and like that keeps driving you to play the game, because you start off and you're getting washed by the first boss, and then by the, like, you keep going, and then you're like, oh, first boss easy as hell, like he's nothing. Then you keep going, and then, you know, the second boss washes you, and then you're like, oh, second boss, it's nothing. Like you start getting all these upgrades and all of these new power-ups and stuff, and you're like, okay. Then by the, like, after a while, you get to the point where the final boss is literally the only thing standing in your way, and everything else up to that point is just fodder. Like, you're just trying to get the best possible power-ups and like the randomized items, randomized power-ups. You're just trying to get the most ideal setup so that when you get to the final boss, you're just gonna wreck them. Except this game, they're like, we were blazing through. We really didn't have any problems getting to the final level. Like we got to the point where we're like, okay, we can get to the final level, but we never made it to Shredder, the boss.
Yeah.
But we would make it to the final level and then die before we get to him. So we did that a few times in a row where we're like, okay, we basically got this shit down pat. These motherfuckers said, hey, looking like y'all getting through this a little too easy. How about we make we gonna make all of the bosses, the first boss, we just gonna start randomly making these bosses harder by throwing another boss in the boss battle. So you gotta fight two bosses at once. So we just minding our black ass business and like going, like, okay, we about to fight the Croc, and, you know, easy work. And then they just throw a second boss at the same time, and they wash us. Like, we lose all of our revives before we even get to the second level, and then like the run was just bust after that. So I'm like, the game is supposed to be getting easier, and they keep making sure to make it as hard. Like, they keep finding new ways to make the game harder, and then the upgrade system is so slow, and it has the dumbest upgrade system I've ever seen in a roguelike, because you get these items for beating bosses.
Yeah.
And they want you to have these items to upgrade. So like when you go back to the boss after you, or not boss, when you go back to the base after you die, they say, hey, like you have these dragon coins that you can use to upgrade your max health or your attack damage or things like that. How many revives you have, how much health you get after reviving. And those upgrades are expensive as hell. Like, you would have to do 3 runs, like 3 like really long runs to get enough to upgrade them once, and then they give you like 10%. So it's not even like a lot. But then you would think that, and then they start adding the items that you have to get from defeating the bosses into the upgrade. So you have to defeat the boss, get that upgrade, go another run, and they'll usually ask for like 1 at first, and then it'll be like 3, and then it'll be like 5. But the part that pisses me off is that I hit a point where I need to get more health from, because the pizza and the pizza is your health in this game. They give you health, but they give you nothing. Like, it's such a minuscule amount of health that is basically useless.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an upgrade to make it so that the pizza gives you more health. But the item that they want you to, the currency that you need to upgrade that item, is that you have to get the item that you get for defeating Shredder. But I can't even make it to Shredder because I need that upgrade. And I'm like, how are you gonna I'm trying to defeat the final boss, and you have upgrades locked behind beating the final boss. That makes zero sense to me. And there's a lot of upgrades that are like that, where you're just stuck until you defeat the final boss. I'm like, literally the whole purpose of me upgrading is so I can, like, I can make it to the final boss easier. But they're like, nah, you gotta actually, you basically just gotta skill that shit. Like, but game's still fun though, not gonna lie. I just have my issues with that, like the difficulty in this game, because I've beaten Hades, and Hades is difficult, but they didn't go out of their way to make the game difficult. It was just difficult by nature. But this game is, they basically are going out of their way to add difficulty. The game itself isn't really that difficult. They're basically just trying to throw in their, like, forced difficulty into it. I'm like, bro,
sounds
chill.
like some Helldiver shit too.
Oh, and bro, like, I've upgraded my attack. I've got like an extra 60% attack damage, and by the 3rd level, I think it's 4 levels in all. By the 3rd level, we're doing no damage. It's so, like, I hate games that make you feel like you're just hitting them with plastic toys, because I'm just whacking all of these enemies and it's doing no damage. And by the time we get to the 4th level, we're doing like 4 combos to kill the fodder characters. It makes no fucking sense. So yeah. But we trying to get through it.
Wait, hold on. Is the final boss in the game Splinter?
Shredder, yeah.
Shredder, my bad.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, so how many bosses do you have to face to get to him?
They basically do 1 mini boss halfway through the level, then 1 boss at the end, and then there's 4 levels. So you have to defeat 3 mini bosses and 3 full bosses. Okay. The mini bosses change every time. Like, those are randomized, but the bosses, they're set. It's I forgot his name, but it's the crocodile mutant. Then it's Karai, which is Shredder's daughter. Mm-hmm. And then it's Bebop and Rocksteady at the same time. They were hard as shit, but we kind of figured them out. and then Shredder,
Okay. Yeah.
or at least, well, you never know if there's like a extra boss or something that happens because I've never gotten to Shredder, so
Okay.
there could be a fifth level and I wouldn't even know.
Yeah,
I'm
for
just
sure.
assuming that Shredder is the last boss.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, man. The force difficulty is annoying. I'll say that. Like you shouldn't. I understand like you want to make things hard, like from soft games or stuff like that. But like at the same time, it's not like you're going against other players, so you should make things more fun than more difficult.
Yeah,
More
like
example.
I'm okay with like if the enemy like the attack patterns are just crazy,
Yeah.
and because by the third stage, when you get to the streets, that like there's attacks flying everywhere. You just see the like you gotta dodge everything, and I'm okay with that. That's the kind of difficulty I prefer. But when
Hmm.
it's taking me like 5 combos to just kill the basic ass enemy, I'm like, bro, that is forced difficulty. The damage should be like by this point in the game, my damage by the end of the stage should be still able to kill the fodder characters with like 1 or 2 combos max. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we trying to get through this before Windblown comes out, because that will be our next co-op roguelike. But yeah, that is TMNT Splintered Fate, which is coming to Steam. Coming to Steam next month, I think, which is cool to see. This was a Switch exclusive. Surprisingly, I'm still on Silent Hill 2. I probably, besides TMNT, this is the game I've been playing the most as far as single player goes,
Hmm.
which is surprising that it's been keeping my attention. Um, but it's still really good. Puzzles are still pissing me off, but yeah. I don't know if you heard on Project titled how I felt about the puzzles in
Mm-mm.
Silent Hill and Resident Evil, but they piss me off because they like, who invented these puzzles? There's no lore attached to the puzzles in Resident Evil and Silent Hill games.
Hmm.
They're just these intricate as nonsense puzzles where you're just doing the most to
Yeah.
unlock a door
Hmm.
that has no explanation for why the door or why these items ended up where they are.
Yeah.
It's just there and you're just supposed to
Yeah.
accept it.
Hmm. No, I was feeling that with Resident Evil because I was playing Resident Evil 4 for a little bit on stream, and it was actually making me nauseous how much I needed to move the fucking camera around. But it was like there was like four swords, and then there was a sword locked behind a door, and then you had to like shoot the like lanterns to light up the lanterns, and then it opens the door. I was like, this is the dumbest puzzle. This is stupid, but
But who's inventing these puzzles? Where is the lore behind
yeah.
where are these? You're like, I'm in an apartment and the entire apartment, like, there's all of these rooms that are just connected to this puzzle. Who did this? Where is the mastermind behind the puzzles in Resident Evil and Silent Hill games? They're just there for no reason.
Yeah.
Just to oh,
Yep.
here you go. You gotta run around this fucking 3-floor apartment that's 2,500 square feet. Have fun. So yeah. But other than that, this is a great game.
It's padding pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. Like the Zelda puzzles, you can kind of be like, oh, the ancient whoever the fucks, they left this here for you. Cool. Tomb Raider, it was made to protect the treasure. Same with like Uncharted and all that. This game, Resident Evil and Silent Hill, there's no ancient civilization that created this shit to protect some treasure. The only thing that they're doing is stopping you from getting to the next jump scare. That's all the puzzle is. Here you go. Do this puzzle so you can be scared more in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then I barely played some Metaphor last night. Have not. I just felt like playing it because I just needed a change of pace after Silent Hill. So played a little bit more. Was doing more of the confidant stuff and side quests, but haven't really jumped into the main quest because I need to. Once I'm done with Silent Hill, I'm gonna go full force into this one. But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Nice. It's a good list of games.
It's usually bigger.
It's all good. When you dive into stuff, you gotta sometimes you get the itch to play it, That's how it is for me sometimes. Sometimes I play like hecka in one day. Sometimes I'm just playing one game. But should I just say what I'm playing?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I've been playing really just two main titles. I did play a little bit of Mario Kart on stream, but that was just to warm me up to play Zelda, and then I got too faded, and then I faded out of that shit. But so the main games that I've been playing is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I started because I don't play fighting games online. I rarely do, so I just started the campaign mode. And you were saying that it was budget, right? Like
yeah,
like the cutscenes and shit. Yeah, it is. It is hella budget. Like sometimes they'll mix in some like actual like animated scenes, but for the most part it's like these cards that like are woven between, and it's okay. I mean, it's just a means to fight, but the game is good though. But it's really just a button masher. Half the time I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just pressing buttons and they're like flying around and stuff. But it's fun. It really is reminiscent of the Budokai Tenkaichi games. So if you love those games, then you would probably like this one. It is a very like nostalgia trip though playing it, because it does feel like a modern day Budokai Tenkaichi.
Yep.
So I think just because of that, like they did good. I did play a few matches online, and it boiled down to just me just getting shitted on, like they just be doing combos after combos. I'm like, let me just go back to doing my single player shit and learning the game and stuff. But I figured out how to do like the teleporting stuff, and even though it is just like XXXY or XY, like super basic, there is some things that you got to learn with the guard and like stuff like that. And there's ways to move around, which I was figuring out in the training, like if you press RT and then A and like forward, you do like you like dash to them, and then if you press it twice, then you kind of dash and then you like try to get behind them. So it's like there's some things that you learn that help you fight and stuff. So I'm still figuring it out. It's fun though. It's actually a lot of fun. I'm having fun playing the game, and the the lines that some of the characters say, they're so out of pocket. Like Trunks literally says no cap in the game. I'm
bro,
like,
that's what I was saying. I was like, bro, they had fun with the translation, obviously.
Yeah. But it's fun though. It's fun. It's not that deep, which I like. And it runs. I'm playing it on the Xbox Series X, and it runs pretty well on there. So no complaints there. And then the other game, which this is actually going to be the game that I decided to cover for my next game that I'm deciding to cover for Lognet is Echoes of Wisdom. And I know it's a little bit of an older game at this point. It came out like a month ago, but I feel like these late gen Switch games, they're gonna be kind of important going into the next console, especially if they play them well. Then like these might be the games that they show the next Switch off by. You know what I'm saying? But Echoes of Wisdom is a good game. I'm having a good time with it. I decided to go to the Gerudo section, or like the desert section first, after completing the first main rift, and I'm I'm like trying to like figure out how I want to like play the game and what it wants me to do. But I use the spikes a lot because there's these like tornado enemies that like come dashing after you. So if you like put a spike like thing in front of you, then it like hits it and it does some damage. So I'm figuring out different ways to do damage other than just spawning like an enemy that you copied or whatever.
Yeah.
The echo of the enemy. But yeah, I'm still figuring it out. It it feels like everything is like a puzzle, you know, like how do I get there? Like you got to figure out how to like traverse to that like platform and stuff like that. But it seems like they did take a lot from Tears of the Kingdom in the fact that you're going inside like rifts,
Hmm.
because that's how it was in Tears of the Kingdom. Is you go inside like rifts instead of there being like shrines and stuff like that. Like that, those like rifts and stuff would be like shrines. Um, so that's kind of taking from Tears a lot. But yeah, I'm still early on, but I'm think I'm about to enter the my second main dungeon. So, I'm having fun with it actually. You got to approach it differently from other Zelda games. You're not always, you can't always be on the offensive. You kind of got to play on the defensive now and stuff like that. And you got to like let other enemies and stuff like do damage for you while you're kind of like dodging them. It's a cool way to interact with the Zelda game. I like it. And it's nice that Zelda's finally like the protagonist, you know? Like the series has been titled The Legend of Zelda for forever, and now it's like she's actually the protagonist, which is it's just crazy to me to
The
think
second
about, you
time
know?
that she's
Yeah,
been the
well,
protagonist.
we don't speak about that first time, but yeah, no, but I'm enjoying the games that I've been playing, man. I've been missing Starfield. I'm not gonna lie, but it's fun just traversing the space, you know, like landing on planets and shit. I really like the energy that game gives off, I'm trying to focus on Echoes of Wisdom, getting through that so I can cover the game and stuff. But yeah, that's the stuff that I've been playing.
That's what's up.
Yes,
I
sir.
need to get back on Zelda. Uh, the beginning of it kind of, it didn't do anything for me, but I know
Hmm.
if I play more of it, I'll it'll start to pick up.
Yeah, it kind of has like a Pokemon element to it, where it's like you run into a new enemy, you like defeat it, and then you're like, ooh, like let me use this enemy now or something like that. But because I think that there's like over 100 things that Zelda can copy, so there's kind of like this like weird like Pokemon mechanic element to it.
Hmm.
It's like you gotta catch them all, you know, you gotta get all the echoes. But it's a cool game. I like it a lot actually.
No doubt. And with that, we can go ahead and get into our warm up question.
Yes, sir.
So I was thinking about there. I was watching something, and it was How I Met Your Mother. I've been Me and my girl have been binge watching that again,
Mhm.
rewatching it, and we were discussing the ending and how a lot of people did not like the ending of How I Met Your Mother, including myself. Or I won't say I didn't like it. I didn't hate it as much as a lot of other people did, but there was definitely some like anti. It was very anticlimactic. But we were talking about how does the ending of a show, like, does it really impact the entire journey, especially for something with 9 seasons? If you enjoyed 8 of the seasons, does that one season, Game of Thrones also being a big one for people? I never got that far in Game of Thrones, but I know a lot of people have qualms with the ending of Game of Thrones. So that made me start thinking of games. And if there was ever a game that 90% of the game, I was like, bro, this is that shit. And then that last 10% was enough to just be like, nah, B, I gotta I gotta knock down some points because it is. So that is the warm-up question. Is there an ending to a game that was like a 9, 10, like I'll say 8 to 10 in your book, and then the ending was able to spoil the experience so much that you dropped it down a point or two, or even more, like the game's unplayable after the ending?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, there's some where like you think that it's gonna end and then it keeps on going and it's like, fuck, that kind of like ruins the experience. Honestly, when you brought up the TV example, the one that I was thinking of was Seinfeld, because I watched Seinfeld for the first time like a few years ago, and I watched it completely, like front to back, and the last episode was like so stupid. I was like, I remember thinking, I was like, they really ended it like this, and because like everyone like loves Seinfeld so much, you know, but
Never
that's
watched.
yeah, it's very, I will say this, it's very like vanilla humor. Like you gotta really find something funny for it to be like cause the characters that I found like funny in that was obviously George, just cause he's like hella fucking dumb, but um but yeah, that's the TV example that I was thinking of, where I was like, this is actually pretty good, and like I remember laughing out loud at some of the moments that happened in the show, but when I watched that final episode, I was like, I can't believe they ended it like this. Like it literally made me like be like, I'm probably never gonna watch this ever again. But because that's kind of how I consume things. Like I don't just go in and like watch random episodes. Like I'll usually just do it front to back again, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I listen to albums too. Unless I'm making like a playlist, but like I'll listen to albums, I'll just play it for the first song and just like let it rock. But for games, honestly, I can't. I'm thinking. was it in Halo 4 where like it pretty much turned into like a Cortana love story at the end? It was like,
Hey, wait, not too much
"Don't
on Halo
leave.
4. I love that shit.
Don't leave."
That
I
was
remember me and my boys making fun of that shit when we were playing it. It was funny though.
That was
like
peak.
I still liked Halo 4, the campaign a lot. I'm thinking. What's your example for game?
one instantly came to mind. A game that me and my girl played. We
Okay.
actually played through it together, and like we were enjoying the game. We were enjoying the story. Everything was good. It was this whole mystery that we were trying to figure out, and then a reveal towards the end of it happened that just everything we worked toward, we were just like, not like this. And it was 12 minutes. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, that's the game with like the voice actors from like Hollywood and shit.
Yeah, it had Willem Dafoe, James Avery, I believe. Or no, not James Avery. James McAvoy. I don't know why I said James Avery. Yeah, James McAvoy. Let me see. I forgot who the female voice actor was. But it was Willem Dafoe, James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So this is the one thing where this is one of those games / stories where the ending is the ending is basically what you're because it's a mystery. You come home from work and you come home from work to your girlfriend. She's in the bathroom and you're just talking to her. It's a special day. She has a special cake or dessert or something, and she wants to talk to you about something. But then, strange person comes to the door. You answer the door. He's saying that he's a cop and that I'm kind of forgetting, but Willem Dafoe, he's the cop. He comes in and he's like, "Yeah, I need to come in, and you're under arrest." The wife or the wife, are they married? I think they are married. The wife is under arrest, and you try to stop him, and then he ends up shooting you, and then he shoots you, and then the time resets, and you're back at the door, but you remember what happened. So basically, you keep looping through the same 12 minutes and you basically have to keep trying to figure out what do you change to like basically get out of this situation where you don't die, or he doesn't knock you out, or your girlfriend doesn't die, or wife, she doesn't die. There's all of these different things that can happen. You keep changing things like, okay, maybe I should lock the door so that he doesn't get in, but then he just busts through the door, and then he really just he starts killing everyone. So I don't want to spoil the ending, but there's a reveal, because you realize the story goes way deeper, and they start having these flashbacks, and you start to realize that the wife isn't who she claims that she is. But even worse, you somehow have I can't even say it. Anyways,
without spoiling it,
there is a crazy reveal about you, like your character, James McAvoy's character, and Daisy Ridley's character, that just ruins everything, and you're just like, I honestly do not care about this story anymore. Like it wasn't clever. It was supposed to be the twist, and in a mystery, the twist is everything. If there's no payoff with the twist, then you like the story kind of falls short.
Yeah.
So it was just like this. It was basically like they couldn't think of anything clever, so they just did the most shock value thing that they could, and it just did not pay off at all. And I was just like, y'all wasted 12 minutes repeatedly of my life with this fucking ending. And I recommend it because getting to that point is still pretty, like, just trying to figure out what's going, like, the actual puzzles and figure out the order in which you need to do things is still fun, but any investment I had in the story went down the drain as soon as they revealed that part, and I was like, bro, why would y'all do this? So 12 minutes is definitely on the list.
Okay.
Obviously another big one, Mass Effect 3.
Okay, yeah. That went through my mind actually, because that was a big deal back then.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3 was definitely a huge one, but I'm not gonna go too deep into that because we all know what happened with that. But those were the 12 minutes was definitely the main one for me, at least.
Okay.
Anything else came to your mind, or no?
Yeah, there actually is one. I was thinking of Assassin's Creed, and with specifically like the Desmond storyline. Because he wasn't. Well, we all know the best parts of Assassin's Creed are not the real world like stories. It's the inside the fucking virtual. And what was that? What's the thing called in Assassin's Creed? The Animus. Yeah. But I feel like what really killed like the momentum of like the outside of the Animus storyline was the way that they killed off Desmond in Assassin's Creed 3. Because after that, it was like there's nothing coherent about the outside of the Animus storyline after they did that, and that kind of like ruins it in my opinion a little bit, because like it still is kind of interesting that the fact that people had to go inside of like memory data banks and like live out the lives of like ancestors and stuff like that. That idea is still interesting to me, but that's really the main one that came to my mind, because Assassin's Creed 3 is like, even it's actually kind of like hit or miss too, because the beginning of that game is like super long and like drawn out when you're playing as Connor's dad, right? Yeah, you're playing as Connor's dad, which is Edway's son, I think. Anyways, but yeah, Assassin's Creed 3 is the main one that comes to my mind for that, because that game killed off Desmond, which in turn killed off like the interesting aspects of the real world stories.
I mean, they did bring it back, just with a different character.
Yeah.
The Animus storyline, at least.
Oh, okay. Did they do that in like one of the newer games? Origins? Oh, okay. I played a little bit of Origins, but I don't really remember it, if I'm honest. It had a really interesting world.
Odyssey? I think it was, maybe it was Odyssey that brought it back, not Origins.
Okay.
But you play as you have a female protagonist in the real world, and the Templars are still part of the. Are they Templars? I don't know if they're supposed to be the Templars, but they're
well versed on my
some kind of Templar-like enemy force that she's trying to get this data to fight against before they get to it or something. I wasn't paying attention to any of that shit. I didn't pay attention to it in the original Assassin's Creed. I didn't care about any of that shit. Just
no, it's all good. Assassin's Creed 3 has a really interesting world, though. It has the American colonies.
Yeah, I never played it. I got sick of Assassin's Creed after Brotherhood, because they were like yearly back then.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'll come back. I came back with Unity. That game burned me. and then I didn't come back until Odyssey.
Yeah.
And I went back to Origins, but I never really finished it. So yeah. Anything else come to mind? Nope.
Honestly, not really.
All right. Well, vice versa. Is there an ending to a game that leveled up your experience? A game you were like sitting at a 7, 8, but then that ending bumped it up to a 9 or 10.
Yeah. I actually do have one for this one. The main one is actually Red Dead Redemption 1. Because like I like Rockstar, but I'm not a huge like fanboy of Rockstar. But the way that they like just the way that they ended that game was just like I was just like, wow, they did it. Like, especially the way that I don't want to spoil it either, even though it's an old ass game. But it's like a slow-mo moment, and you're thinking that but there's potentially like something that could happen, but no, it's like a definite ending. But I like the fact that they like stuck to their guns. I'll say Red Dead 1 for that one.
Okay. For me, first thing that comes to mind is Nier Automata.
Okay.
And I won't not the ending, but the ending. You know how the game. I don't want to spoil anything.
4 or 5 endings.
But yeah, the way that they did that with the endings for that game, that leveled up the game from an 8 to like a 10, honestly. Because they pulled it off in such a unique way. I never seen anything like that before. I was like, oh yeah, this shit just leveled up. So for sure, Nier Automata. And then another game that came to mind that for whatever reason I'm blanking on, because I literally just was thinking about it. It was Nier Automata and Doki Doki Literature Club. Doki Doki Literature Club. It's a great visual novel, and it builds up to what made it special. It's building up throughout the entire story, but the ending goes like somewhere that you weren't expecting. And when they pull out the like whole meta thing with the story, and I mean, I feel like it's over 7 years old. But I won't spoil it just in case. But they do something with the main heroine, Monica, just Monica. That's all you need to know. And they change the way that the story goes into this meta route that you wouldn't expect. That basically changed the entire experience. And then after you complete the game and you bring the world back to its normal route, where everything's supposed to go back, and it's supposed to be the happy world that was meant to be. And then they do an even crazier ending. Like they double down on the craziness at the very end. And then yeah, like I wish I could talk about it. I really I don't want to. Just go play it. Anyone who hasn't already played this free game on Steam, you don't have to get the plus version. Like literally just play it on Steam. It runs on any computer, laptop, anything. Just play it. It's not that long. It is worth the payoff, even if you're not into visual novels, anime, or anything like that. The story is so good that it'll pay off. So yeah, the uh, I'm just gonna leave it at that because I'm gonna go into spoilers. I want to talk about it though, but they pull off that twist at the end of it 2 times. They pull it off 2 times. Like they get you 2 different times at the end. I'm like, bro, that shit turned it in from like it would have been a 9 already, but like that ending made it a 10 because they did something that was so scary in a whole nother way. Like it was horrifying in a way that I would have never expected. I always recommend playing this game only on Steam. The console versions, because of the limitations of the console, they can't do something that the Steam version was able to do because it has access to Windows and it has access to things that only like that with like Windows as an open platform, it was able to access things that you can't do on a console. So because it was able to access something on your computer, it did some really meta shit that was just like horrifying, and that twist is amazing. So that's all I gotta say. Play it on Steam. It's an amazing story. One of the most unique and greatest stories written in gaming.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of anything else. I think that's it though. Anything else came to mind for you?
Not really, to be honest. Cause I don't really put that much into endings like that. But I'm trying to think like there are some games that like I have like of course like the Halo games where I remember like the endings or where you're in the Warthog, you're fucking running away and shit.
Yeah,
But I don't.
there are definitely a lot of games where they were already 10s and the ending was a 10 also.
Yeah.
Like, let's see, what are some good examples? I mean, there are plenty of games with great endings. The Halo 3 one obviously is a good ending. I know a lot of people didn't like Last of Us Part 2's ending. I thought it was good. I loved Last of Us Part 2's ending.
You know, I actually thought The Last of Us Part 2 was good. It's just I just don't want to play a depressing ass game all the time, you know? Like I want to go back to play it because the gameplay is so good, but it's like then you just remember what you're doing the whole time. But yeah, I was actually thinking of the Jack and Daxter games because they have like the precursors or whatever, like the gods, and then like the reveal of them was like so stupid. I was like, these are the people that are controlling everything. That kind of had like a bad ending.
God of War 2, God of War 3, both amazing endings.
Oh, dude, God of War 3's ending is insane. That game front to back is kind of nuts.
Kingdom Hearts 2 ending.
Because in God of War 3, you start by riding the Titans up Mount Olympus. Like it's coming out swinging. But nah, to be honest, I don't really have any like that. I'm like, this isn't this is okay, and then you get to there and it's like, oh, this is amazing.
Okay.
Because I feel like you're playing a game for so long, you kind of aren't like putting as much emphasis into like the end goal as much. At least that's how I play. Actually, you know what? I actually do have an example. Titanfall 2. That game, because I was already thinking like, oh, this is an amazing single player campaign, but that ending where it's like you're jumping across like other like ships that are like also like going fast and stuff. It was cool. It was cool. That game has a crazy ending. You're jumping across
Modern
ships
Warfare
and stuff.
4.
That's a crazy
the last
set
stand
piece.
ending. World at War, putting up the flag at the end. The classic Call of Duties has some really great campaign enders.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, I can't really think of any that elevated it. Cause like I really love Red Dead Redemption 2, and even that game has a crazy ending.
Yeah.
And then you switch over to the protagonist of the first game. It's like that's just spoilers. I'm sorry I spoiled that shit for you, but for y'all out there.
See, I usually have a 7-year rule.
Yeah, a 7-year rule. Yeah.
Even though that's not 7 years old, but for games like Doki Doki, where I want people to actually the story is the entire game, so spoiling the ending basically defeats the purpose of playing the game at that point.
Mm-hmm. I should play that game, Doki Doki.
Bro, play it on stream. People love I remember I convinced Neo to do the Doki Doki Literature Club stream. That was one of the best streams that he did. It was like the whole community pulled up for that shit.
So you say you don't need to do the plus version?
No. And definitely don't play it on PlayStation like Neo did, where they censored it. I was so mad that when he played it and they censored the PlayStation version. I was like, bro, what is this?
Mm-hmm. Damn. All right, yeah, no, I'll put it on my wish list. You said don't even get the plus version, right?
Yeah, the plus version. If you want the extra stories and everything, that's the only reason I would recommend the plus version. If you're as invested into Doki, Doki Doki Literature Club is one of those moments in my life where something became my personality. That was Doki Doki Literature Club. That was my personality. Like, that's a game that I never forget. Like, that is something that it will live with me for the rest of my life. But
okay,
and like I have like merch. I have clothes, Just Monica and Doki Doki Literature Club. That shit is on like how I feel about Scott Pilgrim, where that shit just became a part of me. That's how I feel about Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay. Well, I already downloaded it, so I have it on my PC.
Yeah, man. Let me know when you're streaming. I'm definitely pull up.
You said it's not that long, right?
Nah, probably 4 or 5 hours. So
okay,
1 or 2 streams.
Shit.
One if you just blaze, like if you just try to do a 4 or 5 hour stream, but you could probably get through it in 2 streams.
Okay, yeah. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Okay. Yeah, that was actually one that I've heard of a lot. I just never have played it myself. Same with I don't know if you heard of a game called Gone Home.
Yes, Gone Home.
Yeah,
also a really good one. That the ending is what makes it.
Yeah, I've never played that game. See, that's what I hear. That's what I hear about that game all the time. It's like that ending is insane.
Yeah, but, same with like everybody goes to the Rapture, the something of Edith Finch, the Vanishing of Ethan Cart, or Gone Home. In those 3, like they're all really good, and it's just you exploring a world, and you're just finding out.
Shit. I just got blinded. Holy fuck. Hold on. Let me turn off let me close my blinds.
But yeah, I recommend all of those games actually.
All right, I'm back. But I think that's good. I was gonna say I can talk about my little rambles, but um we'll just do this on a different episode.
Okay.
I'll,
With
I'll
that,
keep it in my back pocket.
do we have? I actually don't have anything for on the radar, but do you
On the radar?
have anything that you wanted to talk about?
Let me think. Black Ops 6.
Let's go.
No,
Black Ops
no,
6.
I'm excited. I'm actually really excited for that game. Like the beta was so fun. I had to stop myself from playing it. Like I was like, I want to wait to get the full experience. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Well, I actually have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the game is gonna be on Metacritic? Like, what do you think the rating is gonna be?
Okay, 82, 81.
82?
80 to 82 range.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking like 85, but I mean, if I feel like it will get good scores if they land on the zombies, the multiplayer, and the campaign. If all three of them are good, then it potentially could be a 9, but that's if they land on all three of those. But I mean, from what I played of it during the beta, I loved it. Like I thought it was like so fun. So I'm gonna be trying to play it on day one. Let's see if the servers hold up, which I think they should because
Yeah.
because
We haven't really
they
had a Call of Duty with really bad server issues at once.
yeah,
In
it's
a
actually
while.
been the opposite for me. Where I think I was talking about it here, where the PS4 launch, like I couldn't play Battlefield, so I ended up just playing Call of Duty Ghosts. So, but yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on the radar should be on everyone's because it's COD. You know, it's the biggest selling franchise of all time, pretty much.
And it's coming out in 2 days. I thought there was like some kind of early access, but I guess not.
Yeah, like a campaign early access or something.
Is it a campaign early access?
No, like I'm saying, like that's what they usually.
Oh yeah,
do.
they usually have some kind of early access, but I guess not this time.
I didn't know that actually.
Because I was like, I was expecting people to already be playing it.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I don't think so. You know who Aiden Ross is, right?
Yeah, kind of.
He apparently spent 5. Yeah, I don't like him either. But he apparently spent 5K on getting an early copy of the game, and the servers weren't even up.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever came up on that 5K, shout out to you. praying on the downfall of people. But yeah, that's just crazy that someone would pay 5K for a game. But yeah.
All right. And with that, we can just go right into the news. Spider-Man 2 coming to PC January 30th. Now, this game came out September of last year.
October
of last year, yeah. So this would make it a year in 2-3 months. Year in 2-3 months that this is losing its exclusivity on PS5 and coming to PC. This is the shortest window that we have seen for a PlayStation first party game to come to a different platform. So how are we feeling about this turn of events where these games are coming so much sooner than people said it would be? You know, it used to be, oh, they come 4 or 5 years later, so it don't matter. Then it was, Oh, they come every 2 years. Like 2 years later, who's gonna care about now? Now we're barely over a year, so it looks like that window keeps getting shorter. Nix's output just keeps getting faster with these PC ports. So is this a sign of things to come, or is this just a one-off?
No, I think this is a sign of things to come, and we already see Sony, you know, doing little things like having Until Dawn day and date. You know what I'm saying? And they already have said that they're doing day and date stuff for their multiplayer games. So I think yeah, this window is getting shorter, especially considering how, because even Forbidden West was a pretty short window. It was close to that 2 year mark, but that was still pretty short of a window. I think the only games that are missing now on PC, just thinking of their PS5 catalog, is Gran Turismo 7 and well, Astrobot, and I think maybe Last of Us Part 2. So I think those are the only ones that are missing now.
Last of Us Part 2 is coming by the end of the year. I think it was like October or November.
Oh, okay.
If it hasn't already.
Yeah, I don't think it's on PC. Let me check. But yeah, no, this is actually, I was so surprised when I seen this, because like you said, a year and 2 months, that's really short. That's super short. I can't wait to see the modding community mod the F out of that game. They're gonna go crazy.
They're gonna make Mary Jane look how she was supposed to look, or whatever they're trying to say.
No, I was thinking more so like they're gonna mod Venom to actually be like playable in the open world or some shit like that. But yeah, we we can go with a better Mary Jane model.
And by the better Mary Jane model, I mean the nude model, because that's all PC mods are. That's all PC mods are good for.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, this is surprising. I gave away my copy of Spider-Man 2, so I might actually end up copping this on PC just to support the effort, you feel me?
Yeah, I have no interest in this Spider-Man game.
You know, I didn't think it was that good either, if I'm being honest. But
I thought Spider-Man 2018 was alright. It was good, but definitely I was expecting Spider-Man 2 to be better in every way, and pretty sure there are definitely some good gameplay improvements. I'll definitely probably pick it up on sale, but not day one at all. But yeah, this the more telling thing is just the rate at which we're getting these PlayStation ports to PC just keeps getting shorter. Forbidden West, it was like exactly 2 years, or a little before 2 years, when it got ported to PC. And now we're almost like a little over a year. Sooner or later, it's gonna be 6 months. Then sooner or later, it's gonna be 3 months, and then day and date, baby. We getting that day and date. We love that day and date on them single player games. Day and date. They just gonna pull the Band-Aid. They like, bruh, just go ahead, pull that Band-Aid.
Yeah.
But I don't care about Spider-Man, but when we get let's see, what's the next? I guess Ghost of Yote. When Ghost of Yote come out on PS5, and then we get that PC version barely a year after. Hey man, let's go. Maybe when the PS6 come out, they just say fuck it. All PS6 games will release on PC day and date, or at least first party titles.
That'd be the day. Cause I'm even thinking right now, as the fucking cops roll up next to me, I'm
Shout out to
thinking,
the cop.
I'm thinking even now, like I don't think I think I might wait for the PC port for Ghost of Yote, because if what we saw was the PS5 footage, then that looks worse than Ghost of Tsushima, in my opinion,
Nah,
just based off of.
that was the PS5 Pro footage.
Wait, for real?
I don't know.
Oh, cite your sources. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I hope it's like Ghost of Yote comes out like July, and then the PC port comes out in like November. That'd be crazy. I'd love to see that. But most likely it's gonna be like July, and then July 2026 is when it comes out on PC or something. Unless they, make the timing shorter, which could be possible. But yeah, I'm more PC ports. Sony, bring them. Give PC players all the games.
All right. Anything else to say on this before we move on to the next topic?
Shout out to Nixus.
Shout out to Nixus, the best PlayStation studio. That's my heart. All right. This is something I forgot to put in the list that I sent to you.
Mm-hmm.
But Crimson Desert, a very low key. I don't even know if it's big. If it's if there's a lot of people who are looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to it since the first reveal. But yeah, they had supposedly PlayStation approached them about getting that timed exclusive bag, but they were like, nah, B, we don't want none of that. And this is coming from WCCF Tech. Crimson Desert got a Sony offer for a timed exclusive, but Pearl Abyss, the creators of Crimson Desert, refused. In July 2023, Korean publications reported that Sony was attempting to secure some sort of exclusivity for Crimson Desert, the upcoming action-adventure game in development at Pearl Abyss. Now, the Korean developer and publisher primarily known for Black Desert has confirmed that was indeed the case. More specifically, they revealed to have received an offer from Sony for a timed exclusivity that would ban the Xbox version for a period of time. However, they decided to go with the self-publishing route after judging it would result in higher profits. The news came from the recent Kiwoom Securities Corporate Day, where Pearl Abyss executives talked about Crimson Desert in great detail, as reported by financial blogger HPNS. The game notoriously received many delays. It was originally set to launch in winter 2021. Okay. Sorry, so Pearl Abyss. Let me make sure. Pearl Abyss is, I want to say they're the same ones who announced Doke-V, and it was Doke-V and another game along with Crimson Desert, all in like the same year, and all three of them looked like too good to be true. I want to say that was them. Let me see. Doke-V. Yep. So they did Doke-V and Hard 8. I think that was the name of the other, or Plan 8. Sorry, Plan 8, Doke-V, and Crimson Desert. They announced these like within a span of a year of each other. And Crimson Desert, I was like, okay, that's literally like the Black Desert engine. They're just making a single player game. I can see that. Like, yeah, that Doke-V, I'm like, okay, how are y'all working on both of these? Because Doke V looked crazy. Like that looked like it was doing a lot. But then they announced another game. I'm like, bro, what is going on with y'all? How do y'all have all of this in the works? So yeah, so them saying, yeah, this was supposed to come out 2021, and we haven't heard anything about these games, except for Crimson Desert. We actually got that 50-minute gameplay, which I'm about to put on the screen right now. So yeah. Oop, why is it like that? Un momento. Let me resize this window real quick. I don't know how it got like this. But yeah, sorry. So they announced all of these games that just all look like epic. But then I'm over here like, bro, where, like, it don't make sense for y'all to have all of this working at the same time. What the hell is going on with my window capture? Sorry. I guess this is just how it is. I don't know. Oh, I know what I'm tripping. That's why. My bad. Okay. I'm fucking up. Alright. Sorry about the technical difficulty. But
All good.
yeah, Doki V, Crimson Desert, both of those games looked amazing. Playing 8 looked good too. But I was like, bro, y'all are not releasing all of these games in the span of, like, they said they gave release dates for all of these, and I was like, y'all are not hitting those dates. And of course they did not hit those dates. But sorry, let me get back to the... So, according to Pearl Abyss, this is because the developers added many gameplay features to the open world design, mainly to improve interactions with the environment and NPCs. Games like Assassin's Creed and The Legend of Zelda were referenced for the player's freedom, and Red Dead Redemption and The Witcher 3 were also huge inspirations. Oh, this is more about the game, so... Alright. So, we have a developer who you would expect to take the bag from PlayStation, especially Asian developers. We see it all the time. But in recent years, we have been seeing more and more developers getting away from the PlayStation exclusivity and realizing that, you know what, it's actually more profitable if we go and put our games everywhere, including Xbox. But how does that make sense? Xbox players don't buy games, and they have a very small install base. So, you know, wouldn't it cost more to make that port than it would to support the console? So why are we seeing all of these developers turn down Sony? Subagels, do you have the answer?
I think these developers are turning down Sony because they're realizing that those exclusivity deals that Sony does really only benefits them, and it doesn't benefit both parties unless they're getting like that full like
Support from
marketing,
PlayStation,
yeah,
XDev, all of that.
exactly, yeah, like they're getting their version of that what's the team at Xbox that does like the technical work on games, like the
ATG.
yeah, like they're getting PlayStation's form of
Yeah,
ATG.
XDev.
Yeah, yeah. My bad. And then but yeah, I think devs are starting to realize that it doesn't really benefit them in the long run. It benefits Sony and PlayStation. I think that's why devs are turning it down, or publishers are turning it down. I think it's a good thing. Give everyone the ability to play your game, if they want. And but yeah, I actually like the fact that they came like they made this public knowledge, because it kind of canonizes the fact that Sony does go out and purchase these, or like money hats in quotes, these games, and
that
like
have already been announced on other platforms.
Exactly.
Almost like a certain big game out of China that announced that they were putting their game on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, but then all of a sudden they had to delay the Xbox version because of technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we found out through a bunch of reportings from multiple sources that was not the case, and that PlayStation was the one who money had at them to delay the Xbox version.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
they did that with Stellar Blade too, because before it was
Project Eve.
Yep.
And it was on Xbox.
Yep. Exactly.
See, but at least that game got the full first party backing.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree.
Wukong barely even ran on the PS5.
Yeah.
It was probably running smoother on the Series X. And then they were like, I don't like that. We can't have this game running better on Xbox.
Facts. Probably. We'll see how it runs on Xbox. That's where I'm gonna get it when it comes out. I'm gonna get it on the Xbox, just so I could support them bringing it over finally. But yeah, this game actually looks pretty interesting. It does look like it has a lot of like the new open world sensibilities of going like seeing something interesting and going to it, instead of being like given a direct path or a linear path. But yeah, I'm interested in the game actually. But as for the exclusivity thing, I think it's good that they came out with this information, and shout out to them. Shout out to them for turning it down, because it probably was tantalizing. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
And I was gonna say, you can definitely see the inspiration in Assassin's Creed, Zelda, for sure. And like out of any open world, I'm already in love with this game, because you can climb anywhere, and if you can climb anywhere in a game, that's enough to make it a better open world than 90% of games to me. So now using Witcher 3 as a inspiration, unless you quest design, yeah. Anything else from Witcher 3, nah, you can keep that. But yeah, the exclusivity. Another thing, Black Desert is actually pretty big on Xbox. If you didn't know, I believe Black Desert, I can't remember if it came first to Xbox, but I know Game Pass, when it came to Game Pass, it was a pretty big game in Game Pass. So I think they have a nice fan base on Xbox, which is probably why they didn't want to like abandon them. So I think that also played a part in why they turned down the PlayStation exclusivity as well.
For sure.
But yeah, I'm very excited about this game. Cannot wait for it to finally release sometime in 2025, supposedly only 4 years late. Any last words on the topic before we move on?
Nah. Shout out to them for turning that shit down. That's all I have to say.
All right. With that, let's move into some PlayStation news. Guerrilla Game. We love everything that they make. They have never made a bad project. And they definitely made the Halo killer, Killzone. But after killing Halo with Killzone, they were like, you know what? We're tired of having the number one FPS. We're gonna go make the number one open world RPG that sold 35 million copies between two games. Amazing success. We love Horizon. We love Aloy, whatever the fuck her name is. But you know, a lot of people still had hope that we would see the return of Killzone from Guerrilla, but it actually looks like Guerrilla is done with Killzone forever. And this is coming from Insider Gaming. 10 years later, Guerrilla admits it's done with Killzone. And here's the article. It could be argued that Killzone made Guerrilla Games. The intense alt-universe first-person shooter debuted in 2004 on PlayStation 2, introducing a next-generation title with a phenomenal setting and story. It spawned 4 major follow-up titles and a couple of spin-offs, but since 2013, the franchise has stood abandoned by Guerrilla. It's one of the most called for games when the topic of revitalizing a forgotten franchise comes to the table. But in a recent interview, the team at Guerrilla confirmed it has long since been done with Killzone. In 2017, Guerrilla Games released Horizon Zero Dawn, a post-apocalyptic PlayStation 4 exclusive that turned heads with ease. It was vibrant and punchy, and it represented an entire world of opportunity and freedom. It was the team's first game since 2013's beleaguered Killzone Shadowfall, which many considered the final nail in the coffin for the shooter series. It was recently revealed in an interview that Horizon Zero Dawn spelled the ultimate end for Killzone, with Guerrilla fully pivoting away from their gritty FPS to focus on more colorful horizons. No pun intended. Quote, "We were done with it as a team. As a studio, we needed to refresh the palette. It was by choice, the opposite of Killzone. I think the themes that this story and the characters represent are relatable for all ages and people, like having a found family of friends and finding your place in the world." This was a quote taken from Roy Postma, a Guerrilla legend with more than 2 decades at the firm. He was talking to the Washington Post about LEGO Horizon Adventures, a cutesy version of Horizon set to launch in just a couple of weeks. Hearing the words "done with it" sent a shock through my soul. Killzone was one of the first games I fell in love with as a kid. I poured hundreds of hours into it, and it introduced me to the world of first-person shooters and multiplayer FPS combat. I always knew that the return of the series would be a 1 in a million chance, but now we've got it on paper and confirmed. Subagels, how are we feeling about the chances of Killzone returning becoming very, very slim?
Man, I'm surprised that they put this information out there, because this is gonna bring them kind of some bad PR, but it kind of makes sense because all they have done for since 2017, since actually 2013, is Horizon. That's all they've made. So, and that's kind of how PlayStation studios go. They usually they're all based on just one thing. Like Naughty Dog, they're still, other than their new IP in quotes because we still don't know what it is. They're pretty much a Last of Us studio, and as of right now,
Insomniac
Sucker
is the
Punch.
Marvel studio.
Exactly, Insomniac's Marvel. Sucker Punch is gonna continue to just work on Ghosts of stuff.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
We're gonna be
R.I.P.
seeing
Sly.
that in the interview soon. Ghost of Tsushima marked the end of Infamous.
I mean, yeah, they should ask them, but I think that Sucker Punch just came out and said that if there was to be a Sly, that it would be done by them, but that they're not making it. So that's kind of pretty much marking the end of that.
Oh,
but
I forgot that they made that.
yeah, they pretty much said like they don't want. I think that was Sucker Punch, that they said like they don't want other people handling their IP.
Didn't someone else make the last Sly Cooper?
Yeah, it was
kinda
Sanzaru.
ass.
Sanzaru made the last Sly.
More ass than Sly Cooper usually is.
Yeah. Slanderous, but yeah, RIP Killzone, man. I don't really have that much love for Killzone. The only ones I've played are Killzone 3 and Shadowfall. And but I was hoping to see some sort of first person shooter out of Guerilla still. But the odds of it being a Killzone is low, or none actually. But we'll see. We'll see if they bring it back. I mean, someone else could work on it, but I don't see anyone else wanting to. But yeah, that's how I feel.
For me, I really don't care. Killzone, I like. If I had to choose between Killzone and Horizon, I guess I would choose Killzone, but I would not be excited about either one. I remember, I'm glad that he cleared, like, I was reading that interview where he was talking about Killzone was like one of the best games, I'm glad he made sure to say that it was the first FPS experience he had, because that's the only way that this game would ever be your favorite. Because, this was the Halo killer. And I remember buying this game after playing Halo for years. Halo 2 was out by this time. And I bought Killzone because I heard all of these good things. And I was just like disgusted that they would even challenge the GOAT when they barely in a D-League. Like...
That's not even the better first-person shooter in the Sony first party. I think Resistance is a better feeling first-person shooter.
Yeah, Resistance, the first one. I didn't like any of the sequels.
But I like Resistance 3 a lot.
Killzone 2 was definitely an improvement, but it was still no Halo. Especially when Halo 3, But... yeah, Killzone 3, Killzone Shadowfall, they didn't do anything. And I actually like the one on PSP that they did. That one was pretty fun. That was probably the one I had the most fun with. But I've never liked Killzone as a series. And I definitely don't like Horizon as a series. But if there was any multiplayer experience that Sony needs right now, it would 100%, they should have gone with Killzone to get that FPS live service going. So I don't know. I mean, there's still a chance that they can just use the IP, give it to another studio. So I'm not saying that Killzone is dead. But, and probably, I don't even know if there's still people at Guerrilla, like if they even have an FPS focused team at Guerrilla anymore. So I don't know. I honestly don't care, but I could see if Sony has an FPS that's in the works and they feel like they could tie it to Killzone, I think that they would. Especially after the failure of Concord, I think they, even if like someone comes to them with an FPS that is unrelated, they would probably try to work Killzone into it. I think that would be the best for them. I'm watching this gameplay of Killzone Shadowfall. Why does the character look so much shorter? Like the camera is like you're shorter than the characters. It looks really weird. I never played Shadowfall, but yeah. That's a Halo. That's all I gotta say. Any final words?
No final words. I'm watching gameplay right now, but I'm actually watching the 50 minutes of Crimson Desert. I'm not gonna lie, this shit looks gas.
Oh bro, that shit gas.
This shit looks fun. But nah, to quote the great Stephen A. Smith, we do not care. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's pretty sad. Maybe they'll give Killzone to Firewall. Like y'all can make Killzone.
Look,
it's okay.
I don't. If for any PS4 IP that isn't Gravity Rush 2, I do not care. Bring Gravity Rush back. Anything else, y'all can keep that shit.
For sure. Absolutely.
All right. Next topic. My boys, you know my favorite horror studio. My boys. Yeah. Bloober team. I love Bloober team. They make my favorite horror games. And Silent Hill 2, and that other one, Silent Hill 2, amazing games. Bloober, they never miss. Love them. But jokes aside, Bloober team has made more than a few duds. Like every single game that they've ever worked on, besides Silent Hill 2 Remake. But in a recent interview, they said, you know what? We're done. We're done making shitty games. Their words. And let me pull up this interview. This article from Video Games Chronicle. Jordan Midler. Bloober team has said it's aware. One second. There you go. It's aware of the mixed reputation of some of its previous titles, and that the company is done making shitty games. Speaking to GameSpot, in the wake of its newly announced horror title Chronos: The New Dawn, the team behind the recently released Silent Hill 2 Remake said that it's looking to shake its previous reputation and emulate the critical and commercial success of Silent Hill 2. We want to find our niche, and we think we found our niche, so now let's evolve with it, said co-director, name that I'm gonna mispronounce, Jacek Zieba. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce that. And how that happens is more complex, but it also happens organically in a way like with 2016 Layers of Fear. People in the studio were like, okay, we made some shitty games before, but we can evolve. We gathered a team that loves horror. Co-director Wojciech, oh my god, Wojciech Pieszko. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I think for us, it would not be easy to switch to other genres, and we don't want to. Bloober Team's latest Silent Hill 2 was released earlier this month to widespread critical acclaim. Currently has a Metacritic score of 87. VGC's Silent Hill 2 review says the remake proves the doubters wrong. I was one of those doubters. Calling it a faithful take on a survival horror classic, Silent Hill 2 is a skillfully handled retelling of one of the medium's most loved survival horror games, we wrote. But yeah. Like I said, I doubted Bloober Team going into Silent Hill 2 to the point that I basically blacked out any Silent Hill 2 content or updates or trailers. I just didn't care. As soon as I saw Bloober Team was making it, I was like, yeah, this is going to be trash. They proved me wrong. But I was like, you know what? It may be a one-off. You know, this was a remake. They had the blueprint. How are they going to do with a new game? And they haven't proven that yet, but that trailer for Chronos, the game that was announced at the Xbox preview, partner preview, they definitely had some shit cooking, because that shit looked fire. So that's basically gonna be the final test. You made the remake of Silent Hill 2. You did an excellent job. Now you have a new game, new concept, new story, new IP. Which, I mean, this is the thing. The part of Bloober Team that was always lacking was the actual gameplay. And some games like the Medium had interesting ideas, had an interesting world, had interesting characters, but it just was not interesting to play. And it was usually clunky as hell. And even though, like, graphically, if you're looking at it as a screenshot, it looks good, the animation were usually pretty bad. So, oh, and also they performed really bad too. Silent Hill 2 performs pretty bad too, so they didn't fix that part. At least on PlayStation, it performs bad.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Silent Hill 2 basically corrects all of that, because, you know, they actually have some real gameplay going, some action. The puzzles, although very, like, useless, the puzzles are good and engaging. So if they pull off, because we did see there's some gunplay in that Chronos trailer, third person over the shoulder, just like the Silent Hill 2. If they can implement that gunplay from Silent Hill 2, the action combat from Silent Hill 2, but put it into a new IP, but also continue making these interesting worlds, these interesting characters, because, like I said, I think the Medium had a lot of interesting ideas. It's just the execution of it was what ruined it. And that's the one thing that Silent Hill 2 fixed for them, or at least they showed that they can do it in Silent Hill 2. So now I just need them to put all of it together in this new IP. But I just thought it was funny that they were really, like, you rarely ever hear a developer call their own game shitty. Mm-hmm. I was like, you know what? I respect y'all for even saying that your game was shitty, and because I definitely would have said it if they wouldn't have. So I love the self-awareness. I love that they understand where they were lacking. I love that they said, hey, we've done something with Silent Hill 2. Let's evolve from this right here. We did it. Now let's evolve on this. And Chronos definitely looks like it's already keeping a lot of those elements of Silent Hill 2. So I actually have faith in this new game. I have faith in that we're gonna see a new Bloober team. That this is this is gonna be a whole new team from here on. They might as well change their name. Just pull a full Halo Studios and just say, look, this ain't the same old, you know what I mean? This is a whole new, we got some whole new shit going on over here, cuz. You feel me? But how are you feeling about this interview and the new Bloober team? Is do you believe in this? Are we believing in the hype, or you not falling for it?
I like you said, I like the self-reflection. That's nice actually to see it so like vividly. Like they weren't being coy with it. They weren't like trying to hide the fact that their games weren't the greatest. So I like that actually, and it shows that they do have a lot of confidence in the stuff that they have going forward. But I'm here for this. I'm not really that much of a horror game like player, but maybe if Silent Hill 2 goes on like sale or something, I'll pick it up and I'll check it out. But no, I'm a that's nice to hear. That's actually that feels nice to hear actually, like just the self-reflection and all that. But yeah, you know what? Shout out to Bloober team for being for being so candid.
Yeah. Unlike a certain studio under Xbox that doesn't admit when they've made mistakes and they double down on those mistakes. Bethesda with Shattered Space. I'm like, haha, people love our game. I don't know what y'all talking about. While having mostly negative reviews, sitting at 50s on Metacritic.
Yeah.
But you know, it some people just need to humble themselves, reflect, and actually that's how it starts. You can't improve if you pretend that you don't need improvement. So yeah, hopefully Bethesda can learn from this like Bloober team did, because I was honestly kind of pissed off at the interview that they did, but I didn't hear about it until after Dual-Wield happened. I heard about like a week after, so I was like, damn, I'm already too late for it to talk about it. But yeah, any final tidbits on this before we move on?
Nah, let's hope that that Chronos game is good because it has Xbox marketing. So
Yeah, was it Game Pass? I can't remember if it was or not. I don't think it was.
I don't think so either. But yeah, let's see. Well, it's up in the air right now. They were what, like 1 for 6 before.
Bruh.
They're shooting 1 for 6, and now
medium, Layers of Fear. People say that Observer was okay. Like some people liked Observer. It was at least like okay to favorable reviews for that. Layer of Fear, because there's Layers of Fear and Layer of Fear. Is that all they made? I feel like there was some. Oh, Blair Witch, which was also mediocre. So yeah, did I say Silent Hill already? So that would be 6. One for 6.
Yeah, I just see that. Yeah, Layer of Fear, Blair Witch, Observer, Medium, and Silent Hill, and now Chronos.
But yeah,
but we'll see.
You know, if they can get that 2 in a row, that'll wash away all the other ones before that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, moving on to Nintendo, because we were kind of wondering who was developing the new Mario and Luigi Brothership game because the studio that has worked on this series since the very beginning, Alpha Dream, was shut down. They did have to close down the studio. Not Nintendo, but Alpha Dream closed down because they made really bad decisions. Which was sad because all of the Mario and Luigi games are amazing. So to see this, or at least I thought this would be the end of the franchise, but we did get an announcement of a new Mario and Luigi game, and it looked amazing. But it was very, we were just curious of who is developing this. And we finally got our answer. So this is coming from Nintendo on Twitter, where they Nintendo finally posted the credits for Mario and Luigi on the eShop, and you can see Nintendo and Acquire are the authors of this software for the purpose of copyright, all rights reserved. So confirmed, Mario and Luigi Brothership was co-developed by Acquire, who is usually a support studio. They mainly, like, one of the big games that they worked on was Octopath Traveler. They also worked on Tenchu, Way of the Samurai, among some others. But recently, Octopath Traveler was definitely a big one that they co-developed with Team Asano of Square Enix. And that definitely is a great fit for this turn-based RPG Mario and Luigi game. So I actually didn't look too much into Acquire, so I don't really know if they make original games. So let's see. They have 120 employees since 2020. Their parent company is Gung Ho Online Entertainment and Kadokawa Corporation. So let's see. They started with Tenchu on PlayStation. But recently they have worked on Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. And some other games that I really don't know. Akiba's Trip, Akiba's Beat, No Heroes Allowed VR, Katana Kami, A Way of the Samurai Story. I don't know any of these games. Labyrinth of Zangetsu. I think these are games that haven't even released in the West. So yeah, it looks like they're mostly a support studio. But from Octopath Traveler, I think this is a big get for them. But yeah, how are we feeling? Acquire, co-developing.
Yeah, no, I'm actually happy that they came out with this before the game launched, because I was curious actually, because I thought it was ILCA, which is the developers of Sandland and that One Piece game, but
Yep.
But
And
this
Pokemon remakes.
Yeah, but this is cool. I don't know that much about Acquire, and I haven't played a lot of their games, but just based off of the trailers for Mario and Luigi Brothership, the game looks pretty fun. So that's cool. That's cool that they're handling a pretty big Nintendo IP. I'm sure that means a lot to them.
You would hope.
You would hope, yeah.
It's definitely a big get if you can get. Honestly, you can literally like make your entire career as a studio if you were like the sole developer for some kind of Nintendo IP, just like Alpha Dream, just like in Intelligent Systems, even though they have multiple Nintendo IP that they work on. Just being able to say, hey, I work on this Nintendo IP, and every time we drop a game, we sell 3+ million, and that's literally all we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if they become the new Alpha Dream and this is their start to just only working on, like, hey, yeah, we just make the Mario and Luigi games, that's it. And, you know, just don't make the decisions that Alpha Dream made, like remastering Bowser's Inside Story that did not need a remaster at all. And then going bankrupt and then having to shut down the studio. But yeah, I'm everything I've seen so far has me excited about this game. So I really didn't care who was working on it, because the game just looked so good that it didn't matter who was working on it. But them being the co-developer, cool. They have some good games under their belt, so I can't complain. But yeah, I'm just happy to know the answer. Hopefully this will be a continued partnership that leads to an Alpha Dream like status for them, where they are working on these series from now on.
For sure. We'll see how it does.
All right. With that, let's move on to the next topic. Hold on. All right. Some bad news. Can't escape studio closures, because we just got a new studio closure. Or I guess we have 2 studio closures this episode, but this studio closure from a studio that we have not even seen a single game from, and that is Team Blue, Netflix's AAA studio. They were shut down. So this was a scoop from Steven Totillo over at GameFile, I think is that GameFile.news. And he goes on to say Netflix has closed its AAA game studio in California less than 2 years after opening it and making big hires. Last spring, Halo veteran Joseph Staten made headlines for joining, but now the team is gone. A shakeup as new gaming bosses at Netflix settle in. So let me go into the article. I can't remember if this is a subscription, but I think this whole article. Okay. One of Netflix's most intriguing video game studios is no more. The company's Southern California game studio, one of a handful of internal studios assembled by Netflix in recent years as part of its expansion into video games, has been shut down, GameFile has learned. The studio, also known as Team Blue, seemed poised to break the mold of what Netflix is doing in gaming. Early hints about the team's work suggested it was pursuing a big-budget multi-device strategy, signifying the ambitious edge of Netflix's initial mobile-focused expansion. As proof of that, Team Blue had made some splashy hires in the past 2 years. In late 2022, Netflix wooed Overwatch executive producer Chaco Sonny from Blizzard to build its SoCal studio. Sonny has stints on Call of Duty and Santa Monica before that. In spring 2023, Netflix's SoCal studio added Joseph Staten, a longtime creative lead on Microsoft's Halo franchise at Bungie and 343 Industries. Staten was exiting the Xbox camp for Netflix to work as creative director for a brand new AAA multi-platform game and original IP, he said at the time. That move was widely covered in the gaming press, a sign that Netflix was very serious about this gaming thing. That same spring, Team Blue also recruited art director Rafael Grassetti, who had nearly a decade of experience at Sony Santa Monica, where he'd most recently been the God of War Studios' overall art director. As of October 2024, however, Netflix has shut down Team Blue, and all three of those big hires are no longer at the company. A company rep confirmed to GameFile. So, I guess anything that Netflix is doing in gaming now is just gonna be mobile shit that no one cares about, because this was their big console slash PC focused get, and now they don't exist anymore. So
Yeah.
how are we feeling about Netflix's position in gaming now?
It's not a space for everyone. Like, we even see Amazon kind of stumbling a little bit here and there. Netflix has tried. I think they have they own the people that make, is it Monument Valley?
Yep, as well as no, not Night Dive. What is their? I'm forgetting their name, but they made Oxenfree 2 and After Party.
Yeah, they own some studios. Is it Night School?
Night School, that's what it is. Night School Studios.
Okay. Yeah. I actually didn't even know that Netflix had a AAA team.
Really? This was big in 2021. Like, as soon as Joseph Staten left Halo after all the shit that Halo was going through, everyone was wondering where he would go next.
Yeah.
And that's where it was. He was going there.
Yeah, but this sucks. We need as many players as we can get, but we'll do you think there's even a chance that we'll see what they were making, or
doubt?
Press X to doubt on that one.
Unless it was a mobile and console game. I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, I hope the devs find and stay and go join Halo Studios. Come back for the third time.
Yeah. Also, Jess Corden did confirm that, at least as of now, Joseph Staten is not back working at Halo. I mean, on Halo. He's not going to Halo Studios, So, at least as of now, that is not something that is happening.
Yeah.
So we don't know where. Honestly, Joseph Staten's the only one I cared about. I want to know what he's gonna do now, because he's basically single-handedly fixed Halo Infinite, turned it into at least a playable experience at launch. So I want to know what he does. I would love for him to go to Halo Studios, but I could see why he wouldn't want to return either, even with the new leadership. But yeah, I wanted Netflix to do something cool in gaming. I wanted them to become a big player. I wanted Amazon to become a big player. I want to see new, like, AAA level publishers in gaming, but it seems like all of these giants that keep trying to get involved just fall short somehow. Amazon, they're doing all right, but they're mostly focusing on MMOs for some reason.
Yeah.
Which I mean, they definitely have the money to support big ass MMOs, and the payoff if you make the right MMO is gonna be substantial if you do pull it off. So it's definitely a high risk, high reward thing that Amazon is doing. But I was hoping Netflix would go the route of just variety, just like Netflix is with their movies. Some indie, some bigger game, like really big blockbuster games, really small indie games, the whole 9 yards. But I guess the blockbusters are now off the table. As long as they don't close down Night School, I guess I'll still have something to look forward to from Netflix games.
Sure.
But yeah, anything else you want to say on the topic?
Good luck to Netflix, for sure.
Okay, so I actually had I couldn't post a link because they took that, like, Nintendo took down all of the what's it called?
The leaks.
Yeah, all of the leaks and the pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
But there was a backup archive that I did find with all of that I downloaded. So I'll basically just be going over those details without actually showing anything, because I don't want this video to get taken down.
For sure.
This podcast to get taken down.
For sure.
So I'm playing the Pokemon killer Dokev instead in the background. But we did get some new details on the Splatoon-like multiplayer Pokemon game that we talked about last week, I believe. Yeah, during the leaks. And there was a 67-slide PowerPoint presentation that leaked that basically was the proposal for that game. And it basically went over everything in that game. It had gameplay videos, like everything was shown out in that trailer, or sorry, in that presentation. And let me just pull that up real quick. So the game is Project Rodeo. That is the name. And it takes place in the Rodeo region of Pokemon. So some of the gameplay details. This is Pokemon's first co-op action operation. The Pokemon you ride cooperate with your friends and fight against giant boss Pokemon. That is the objective. I'm using Google Translate, by the way, because this was all in Japanese, so some of it might not be completely accurate. So the selling point: exhilarating action of ride Pokemon, which is that you will be on the back of a Pokemon throughout the entirety of the gameplay. And you'll be carrying. Let me see. So it says a Pokemon carrying a trainer moves around the field and attacks enemies. Destroy your enemies with Ride Pokemon's dynamic attacks. Handheld Pokemon, that is another factor. That is when a trainer throws a monster ball, the Pokemon that they have will fly out and perform a unique attack. And then they give examples like Pikachu has a high-speed tackle wearing electricity. Pochima, a long-range attack that shoots water bullets. And Lucario, a powerful flying knee kick. And even more depth, or add even more depth to your action by attacking your own Pokemon. I don't know what that means. So basically they go over that it's gonna be Monster Hunter like, where you will be riding on the back of your Pokemon. You'll be also able to throw out Pokeballs and use attacks to fight against this giant Pokemon that you're trying to take down with your partners. And this does it's fully action gameplay, no turn based. And let's see, this takes place in the Rodeo region. Trainers who aim to become skilled riders who can ride legendary Pokemon gather together here. Cooperate with your fellow rider. The Pokemon region is centered around Rodeo Island, which is the base and is dotted with the small islands where the sea roads intersect. Due to the influence of ocean currents, various Pokemon flow in, and the scattered islands have a variety of ecosystems. And the climate also has various characteristics depending on the influence of the Pokemon on each island. So they show in the slides, they have like a jungle island, a desert island with canyons, a snowy island, one that's just like covered in purple mist, and then just like a grasslands regular island. Go to the next slide. So you'll be able to create your own trainer. And they literally have a slide that shows an inkling from Splatoon to show the inspiration, where they got the inspiration from. And they say basically to talk about the use of element ether. So paint, tentative. Particles of element ether crystals, by mixing it with pigments, you can create special paints that bring out even more of your Pokemon's abilities. And I think that's what they meant by you have to it looks like you're shooting, like they use an inkling, and supposedly you have some kind of gun or some kind of something that you shoot at your Pokemon to boost their abilities, and it's supposed to be like paint. They also have ride gloves. A scholar who studied the mechanism of element ether developed the ride gloves. It is made from a special element ether, and as this material is rare and can only be collected in the Rodeo region, it just ends there. So let's see. It will be outside the Pokemon's body, so the power of ether will flow into the Pokemon through the glove. It is possible to further bring out the abilities of ride Pokemon. So basically, those are the support items for the ride Pokemon. But they go very in depth. If you want to find these leaks, go to Central Leaks on Twitter, because they do have the archive with the PowerPoints, and they basically show a lot of the gameplay elements, and they have full gameplay showing off how the actual battles will go. But what I got from this is that it's more Monster Hunter with action gameplay, but you're doing a lot of support stuff as well, which is like you're supporting your Pokemon and upgrading his abilities as you fight. But it's very detailed. There's 57 slides, so I wish I could play the actual gameplay, but you know, Nintendo outside. Well, yeah. Does this sound interesting at all to you?
This sounds This sounds like it's like gonna be free to play. To be honest.
Oh yeah, it's it's probably gonna be the same lane as Pokemon Unite.
Yeah. Nah,
But
not
I
really. It
mean,
doesn't
I can
sound
see them
that.
still selling it though, just because
Okay.
it's not it's a co-op experience and not a what's it called a competitive experience. So I can see them selling it just because of that, because it'll be more like a Helldivers situation. There's really no competition as far as free to play co-op type of game. Like if you're gonna drop a MOBA, you have to go against Dota, you have to go against League of Legends, you have to go against Smite. All three of those are free to play games, so they really did have a choice. But a co-op action game, there is no like competitors in the space that are free to play that you have to go up against. So I think they could probably charge. They probably would.
For sure.
But yeah, Pokemon Monster Hunter like, I guess. I'm I mean, on paper, it sounds cool. Going through the slides and seeing what they're focusing on, I'm like, maybe not as much. I was more excited before I actually went through the PowerPoint and saw the details of it. I was like, oh, no, this doesn't seem as cool as what I would have had in my head for what this type of game could have been. But that's just me. I'm pretty sure it's Pokemon. It'll definitely find an audience, at least at the beginning. If it's good, they'll stick around. But I didn't get to see the gameplay because for whatever reason it wouldn't work on my phone. So maybe if I see the gameplay videos, it'll do a better job showing what the game's supposed to be. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out as a follow up to the leaks that we talked about last time.
Sure.
All right, let's see. Here's the current leak. Okay. All right. Either way, Pokemon fans, y'all got a lot to look forward to because there's some different games. You got your base Pokemon new generation, and you got Legends if you want something that kind of rides the line of the base Pokemon experience but does something different. You got it all. So we happy for y'all. All I need is Arceus, or not Arceus, Legends.
Legends.
All right. Prince of Persia, one of my game of the years. We just gonna call it now. That's gonna be in the game of the year conversation for me at the end of this year. But Ubisoft did not care about the critical acclaim that this game has gotten because it did not sell. And because it did not sell, the team that made Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is being disbanded by Ubisoft. A sequel was proposed, but it did not get greenlit. Now, we've been through a lot of layoffs this year, a lot of studio closures. most like 80% of them, I can say, oh, they ain't really affect me. Don't really matter. This one hurt because this is a top 5 Metroidvania of all time, and I love Metroidvanias. This is like one of my favorite genres. So seeing that this game just got no attention, and even with the glowing reviews, even with the people who did play it basically championing this game, it still wasn't enough. So yeah, how are you feeling about the studio closure?
Well, isn't there the rumor that a lot of the people that are working on that like went on to like 3 separate projects or something like that?
Yeah, but
But the
not my
team that, yeah,
it's not my team. They working on some other shit that I don't care about probably.
yeah. No, it's sad saying that they did not go forward with the second one of these because this game was fucking incredible. I was one of the ones that are championing it. I still think it's one of the best games that came out this year as well. Out of all the games that I've played, it's like it's one of those Metroidvania games where it's like they do almost everything right. Where it's like they do puzzles right, they do the traversal and the platforming correct, the combat is good. Like it literally has it has a good story too. So it's like,
It
man,
actually has some really good production value. Those cutscenes are actually really good, and they really lean into that anime aesthetic in the boss battles. Like literally, some of the moves that you'll see literally come straight out of anime, and it's really cool. I love this game. Everything they did, they hit every metric. Like they didn't miss on any part of it. The difficulty is just right. There's a lot of challenging areas, and they have these very high challenge parts to the game that you'll go through, usually for like side quests and optional rewards, but it never like goes overboard with the difficulty either.
mm-hmm.
Some of those platforming challenges are crazy too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, the game just felt so good to play.
It really did.
And the combat just kept getting better as you go through the game. There's a lot of enemy variety. They do everything right. Which is why not being able to get a sequel to this is just blasphemous. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think is the main factor as to why this game didn't sell?
Well, I mean, the Metroidvania genre is kind of still niche. Well, I mean, there is some outliers, like there are some huge successes, but I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe it was marketing because I didn't really know any like I wasn't if I wasn't already like knowing of the games that are coming out and like well versed in the industry, like I wouldn't know this game even existed.
Yeah.
So it could be marketing, but yeah, I don't know, cause like you said, it was champion. Like people talk about how good it is. Like I said, how good it is. You've talked about it on your shows too, and you talked about it here and stuff.
Yeah, and you see a lot of big names in the industry champion it, like Jeff Grubb and a lot of the kind of funny crew.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a mix of 3 things that really definitely caused it to not hit the goals. One, definitely the price. I think this is the. I'll go from the lowest impact to the highest impact. So one, I'll say the price. I think it launched at 50, but it's like 40 right now. And for a Metroidvania, where most Metroidvanias are indie, and they are usually $25 or less, a lot of people don't feel like it's worth it, especially in today's era where even any 2D game is automatically looked at as lesser.
Yeah.
I think that played a big role in the them not adopting the game and it not being a first choice for picking up. Now, when you actually play the game and you realize that this game is like double the content of most Metroidvanias that is competing against, outside of Hollow Knight, which Hollow Knight is I don't even know how they charge $15 for that when that game has a shit ton of content and it has this unique hand-drawn art style that takes forever to make. And there's 3 people making the game too, so I guess that's why you can charge lower.
Yeah.
But yeah, like outside of Hollow Knight, most Metroidvanias are like 10, 12 hours. This game is like 20, 30 hours. Mm-hmm. And it's not like padding either. Like it's all meaningful content, a lot of optional challenges that are actually really good, some side quests, collectibles. And it's like 20, 30 hours if you just kind of just do the main stuff. But you can up it if you do the collectibles and get all of the upgrades and do all of the side quests. So find all of those hidden bosses. So they definitely make it worth your money, which most Ubisoft games they pad to make it feel like it's worth your money. But this game was definitely not padding. It was all very good content throughout the entirety of the experience. So I do feel like they made it worth your money. But you know, it's hard to show people that before you play it.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So the second factor is, like you said, it's a Metroidvania, 2D side scroller. That alone is it's already niche. Even though you always see people hollering about Silksong and how we want Silksong, please come faster. And you know, you would think that Metroidvanias are like the hottest thing in the streets because of how people are clamoring for Silksong. But when Metroid, literally where you get the Metroidvania from, is like they're selling 3 million with Metroid Dread. Although you can say that's at $60, so
yeah,
that's actually kind of an accomplishment in this era. But for the most part, Metroidvanias aren't selling like crazy numbers. They're not hitting the Assassin's Creed numbers, that's for sure. You're not gonna get billion-dollar franchise out of Metroidvanias. Now, Ori, both games did. Moon Studios did come out and say that they sold 10 million or 15 million through both games, which is very and sold, not Game Pass.
Yeah.
So that is a very good number. I think these games, like this game should have hit at least 5 million. Like I think this game deserves at least that.
Yeah.
So, but the outside of it being a Metroidvania, outside of the price, both of those could be overlooked if it was done by a trusted studio. The reason that Metroid Dread sold 3 million copies on the Switch is because, or they sold 3 million copies at $60 on the Switch, is because Nintendo has built a reputation, especially during the Switch era, which is why we see all of these Nintendo IP breaking records on the Switch, because they have such a good track record. And the reputation of Nintendo is that every time they put out a game, it's gonna be at least an 8. Like, you're gonna have a quality experience no matter what you buy from them. But Ubisoft has gained the opposite lately, even to the point where even Assassin's Creed feels like that's like people are not even gonna, it feels like people aren't even buying Assassin's Creed, when that was like, if all else fails, at least they have Assassin's Creed. They'll always buy that. Now it's feeling like that's not even true anymore. So Ubisoft is in this position where they have burned their fan base to the point that even though they gave people what they wanted, you know, oh, get away from the Ubisoft formula. Every Ubisoft game feels exactly the same. They made a game that was nothing like any other Ubisoft game, but it was too late because the reputation for Ubisoft has gotten to the point where it didn't even matter what they put out. It wouldn't have sold. Like, and this time slot was perfect. There was really no big games in the time slot when this dropped.
Yeah.
It had no competition to worry about. It didn't have a big game that it was competing against for sales. It's just that it was Ubisoft, and they, like, people see Ubisoft now and they're like, nah, I'm gonna go with something else. I don't trust them. I'm like, and marketing definitely played another factor, because they definitely did not market this like it was a big game or a game that they had faith in. There was barely any marketing for this at all. So that's another thing for sure. But to the people who did know about it, even like before I saw the reviews, I think it was when I played the demo. That's when I was like, oh, nah, this is heat. But before that, I had no interest in the game because I just didn't trust I really didn't trust them to make a good game. And I was also kind of burned because of the Prince of Persia remake. I'm over here like, this is not the Prince of Persia that I wanted, you know? So I could also see that being a factor as well. But if it wasn't for the demo, I probably would have skipped this game as well. And I probably would have saw the reviews and be like, you know, I'll pick it up on sale, maybe. but the demo basically sold me to get it day one. So yeah, there's. I want to. I went on Twitter when I saw this, and I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I was like, fuck everyone who criticized Ubisoft for making the same game, and when they broke that cycle, you turned around and didn't even like give it a chance. So all of you dudes are all talk. So like my first reaction is to blame gamers, but the more I think about it, Ubisoft is definitely half to blame. I'm gonna blame some of the gamers too, because especially all you people clamoring about Silksong. If you, how you gonna clamor about Silksong but not play one of the best games in the genre? I think this is better than the first Hollow Knight. I don't care what y'all say. This is better than the first Hollow Knight. So people who love this genre who skipped out on it, I'll definitely blame them. But Ubisoft, the marketing, their reputation, that you can definitely put a lot of blame on Ubisoft as well for the failure of this game. That making sense? Or
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm in agreement. It's 50-50. All failures are 50-50. There's never one party to blame. There's always multiple, but yeah, no, I feel the same way about Nine Souls too. The what's like, dude, like there's so many and literally if you go on the reviews of Nine Souls on Steam, everyone that's reviewing the game is saying that. It's like everyone that's waiting for Silk Song, they should go out and play this because this is probably gonna be just as good. So it's like it's annoying, dude. People only see for some reason. To me, it seems like hardcore gamers in quotes, they only want to check out games if it's like if they're either like if there's some sort of nostalgia attached to it, or if it tugs at like the nostalgia strings, or if it's like if like all your homies and all the people are playing it with you. Like it seems like that's the only like way that games are succeeding going forward. It's like I don't
that's
know.
that's the only way games still nowadays. It has to be peer pressure because either everyone's playing it or the reviews are just so stellar that it doesn't matter what genre. You're just like, damn, it's that good. I have to check it out. Basically, the 95 plus range on Metacritic. It's that, damn, it's that good. I gotta check it out. Like I had no, I hate Souls games for the most part, but seeing Elden Ring get that 97, I was like, yeah, bro, I gotta get this shit, and I ended up getting it and loving it. So there's definitely a point where critic reviews hit a point where you just, that is the selling point. Like that is all the marketing that you need. Now, I won't say this works for everything because you can have some very very niche games that hit that, and it'll still be niche at the end of the day. What else? But then the like you just keep seeing the right people talk about the game and play the game. If the Twitch streamers are the ones, like if it blows up on Twitch, all the streamers are playing it, that's definitely the best marketing you can get. If all of the top streamers are playing your game, that is all the marketing that you need. So there's definitely that peer pressure factor where either it's the scores are just that good or everyone's playing it, all the cool kids are playing it. That's gonna be all the marketing that you need. What else? No, that's literally the only two things. Just insane review scores, or like all of the streamers, all of the gaming industry people, they're all playing the game, so you have to play it. That's the only time a game will blow up.
Yeah.
Or like you said, nostalgia, like
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, Sparking Zero.
Mm-hmm. Or Astrobot, even.
Did it though? Did it really though? Oh man, I was going in on Flame. He over here talking about look. Pasta Feet in shambles. Astrobot is the number 2 best-selling game of September on the NPD.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ratchet and Clank was number 1 on NPD. That don't mean shit. Stellar Blade was number 1 on NPD. That shit barely sold 1 million. I ain't trying to hear that
sold
shit.
1 million. It sold 1 million in like 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I feel the same way. People are championing like oh my god, it's number 2 on it. Like, let's see what it is this month, and then let's see when PlayStation actually reveals the numbers. You know, like them taking like, because it's already been over a month since the game's out, and they haven't said the exact numbers. So it's like, if it did do like really good, if it did hit like 5 mil or 3 mil, PlayStation would have said it. That's what I'm saying.
Astrobot needs to be, for it to be what I would consider a success for a premier platformer like that, it should be 5 million by the end of the year.
Yeah. If Sony gives off those numbers, then hey, you know, then we could say like, oh yeah, it was a success. But like, the fact that they're not saying the actual numbers kind of states like that it hasn't sold like as well as we think that it has, or as well as fans want it to.
But remember, platformers outside of Mario don't sell, according to them. While It Takes Two hits 20 million copies sold, a new IP, no nostalgia bait, all original ideas not stolen from Mario and other Nintendo games. But go off, Queen. Play, Queen.
No, that was actually just a spoiler on my little topics that I had written. I actually had written that down as one of mine, saying Astrobot is mid. Because I'll just say it real quick. It's, you know, I'm very like up and down with this game. Like, oh, like I'll play and I'll be like, oh, this is fun, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm getting bored, and then I'll be like, oh, these challenges are fun. It's like, oh, this is just all nostalgia. But I think I've come to the conclusion that I think Astrobot is like, it kind of feels soulless. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of feels like yeah, they're paying homage to all these IPs and all this, but it's like, outside of that, what does it have that it's its own, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a little tangent, but yeah.
I still think it's a great game. I think it's definitely a 8. Not an 8.5, just an 8.
Okay. That's respectable.
That's still better than the score I would give 99% of other non-Mario platformers. But that's just because the bar is just so low for other non-Mario platformers.
For sure. Well, what was the topic that we were on?
Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia? Oh. No, I'll say this about Prince of Persia. It's probably going to be one of the only AAA Metroidvanias. I think we're gonna see a lot from the indie scene, but I would consider the Lost Crown like more so a AAA Metroidvania,
which is only occupied by Metroid and this, and that is it.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you whoever you are out there, you failed us. If you haven't bought this game, you failed us. You failed gaming. You failed this genre. And you should be ashamed of yourself. No, I'm just kidding. But if you like Metroidvanias, if you out here capping for Silk Song and you ain't buy this game, shame on you. Count your days. I will find you. Any last words?
No last words. Go. If you haven't bought the game, go get it. It's really good. Runs really well on all platforms.
And they didn't drop this game to like $20 before, so if price was the reason you ain't buy it, you have no excuse now. Get it while it's on sale.
Facts.
All right, last news topic.
Yes, sir.
Did I talk about how I was beefing with Nintendo on here?
I don't think you said it on here, but I heard you say it on Project Untitled.
Yeah.
The early access to their thing, their new Nintendo Online program thing.
So Nintendo, they had a playtest for a new whatever that they were working on. And of course, me being Nintendo the Otaku, I signed up for the playtest literally first 10 seconds that it went up. And they hit me with the you don't qualify for this playtest. I'm like, do y'all niggas not know who the fuck I am? I am Nintendo. And y'all gonna tell me I don't qualify for this damn playtest. So I didn't get to play. But the playtest has leaked. It literally leaked to like 30 minutes into going live. And it's actually a new game. A lot of people were thinking that it was new Nintendo Switch online features. But no, this is a new project, a new game project that they are working on. And it seems like it's a very early concept. Like, you know how playtests are usually, hey, we're like 4 years into making this game and it's basically almost done. But yeah, we want your feedback on the game. Nah, Nintendo's like, yeah, we just cooked this up in the garage like a month ago, and you know, there's no assets for it or anything. It's just very bare bones, and we want to see how y'all feel about this concept. This is a real playtest.
Yeah.
So let me actually go into this. Oh shit. The tweet got deleted.
Oh no.
God damn it.
Look.
Let me see if I can find anything.
Found the Reddit article.
Okay.
You want me to just read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I see the NSO playtest program has already been data mined, code name, developer, soundtrack, and more discovered. This is on Reddit on Gaming Leaks and Rumors. It hasn't even been 24 hours, and the playtest program has been data mined by Sky on Blue Sky. The playtest seems to have a codename of Rockstock, and it is likely developed by EPD4 using the NPLN netcode.
Yep. That
Not
is
only
the
that,
EPD4 is the Labo Ring Fit Adventure that team. Game dev builder, game builder, all of that.
Okay. So that's like their experimental team.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so it says additionally, it seems to upload UGC. You have to answer 20 questions, and playtesters will be partaking in daily surveys and a final one at the end. Neatest of all, the soundtrack has already partially leaked. Clip 1, clip 2, clip 3. More clips of the soundtrack will be posted here, and it is entirely original composition. and that's all this page says.
Okay. I found an article from Nintendo Everything.
Okay.
So, the official website for Nintendo Switch Online Playtest program was updated today, revealing details about the whole thing, what the whole thing is actually about. There's been plenty of speculation as to what Nintendo has been planning. Various theories have been floating around, including GameCube support on Nintendo Switch Online, a potential Miiverse return, and more. However, it turns out that that Nintendo is testing out a new kind of game based on official images shared by ex-user Ethan This Guy. The goal is to work with others to fully develop a massive, expansive planet by utilizing creativity and framed resources. New lands, enemies, and resources will appear while players progress across the planet. One core part of the experience are beacons, which emit a healing light that purifies and develops the land. The description points out how players repeat the process until their current planetary block is considered fully developed. Another aspect of the game mentioned is the dev core, which is like a social hub. Here, players can gather with others while also leveling up their characters, getting items, and more. Below are a few images that have surfaced, which one of them kind of shows the like overview of the planet, and it shows like the blocks that people have placed. And I'm not gonna show these on screen, unfortunately, because I know that Nintendo is gonna take that shit down with the quickness.
Yep.
So
yeah, I wouldn't even risk it.
It says how to develop. Throughout your adventure, players will be granted special tools known as the beacons. These beacons emit a healing light that purifies and develops land. The higher your beacon is placed, the wider its beacon zone becomes. Within your beacon zone, your best work can be done. So they're showing a bunch of different, like, people were building, some of them higher than others, and you'll see like the beacon is placed, and you'll see the light kind of go further depending on how high that beacon is, and then it goes from like this blue wireframe world to like this grassy, like well-developed land instead when the light touches it. So yeah, then it shows like the social hub. Kind of looks like a building where you'll just see a bunch of other players. The graphics and everything is not fully developed. They're very basic characters, very basic looking, not fully Minecraft, and not as gross as Roblox, but similar to Roblox, I would say. So based on what we heard shortly after the announcement of the test, it seemed Nintendo was against participants sharing information. Oops. Given the way the internet works, though, no one expected that request to hold. It's unclear what the plans are for this game beyond today's test. Meanwhile, participants will be able to give it a shot when it officially begins this Wednesday. So, what I got from this, or I'll go with you first. From this information, building a planet together with the people, you place your blocks, your beacons and everything, and that affects the planet that everyone is on. What did you get out of that? What did it like? What did you think?
They're experimenting. I'll say that they're definitely experimenting with stuff. That to be honest, I didn't really get that much from this. But
did you see this art? You want me to put the article so you can see like the pictures and everything?
Yeah. Let me see it.
Okay. So there.
Cool.
So reading through it and them saying, oh yeah, it's a planet that you have to develop together with all of these players, and you have to put these beacons that heal the world, and you basically use user generated content because you're building this world together. The first thing that popped into my head was Death Stranding. And how you're putting these bridges down, and then you go throughout the world and you find other people's bridges, and then that bridge helps you progress through the game. You're like, oh, somebody put their bridge here, and this is really helping. Like it made it easier for me to get across here. And how everything is persistent, but you're online, but you're not really seeing the other players. But you're seeing what they put into the world.
I see.
So I was like, bro, this is Nintendo's Death Stranding with a little bit of Minecraft Roblox thrown in.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely experimenting. Definitely. Now, is this gonna be a new IP? Are they just gonna throw like what? I don't even know who they would put up. Mario. I don't think Mario would be a good fit. Try to like what IP would they even be able to put with this?
Pikmin. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, that would probably be a good one. You land on a post-apocalyptic world in Pikmin, and you have to heal the world with Olimar or whoever you're playing as. You create your own, just like Pikmin 4. Create your own Olimar clone. Yeah, I would think it would be a new IP.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, I'm not too sure about the concept. Or I guess I need to see what else, like as far as the gameplay loop. And you know, I'm not the user generated content kind of guy. I like playing other people's UGC content, but I'm not the creator type of guy. So I would need to see what the gameplay loop for people who aren't creative would be. So yeah, but cool concept. How is there going to be multiple worlds? Are they just going to keep expanding the world as there's more players? What happens when you have so many players that the planet is done and there's nothing else to do? You just wipe it. Like, all right, start over. So yeah. But yes, it's still fucking Nintendo, because why am I not in this playtest?
Yeah.
Sure. After all I've done, this is how y'all treat me. But yeah, I love seeing Nintendo trying new ideas. I love that they're going the let the fans try out the game. We're doing something really, really new, and something that is online based, that we need a lot of players. Let's see how, because you know, we've seen playtests from everyone. EA with Skate, Xbox with Grounded, and Aura History Untold, Towerborn. They do them all the time. And we see a lot of the early access games where you build the game with the developer. It worked well for Baldur's Gate. It worked well for Hades. So Nintendo adopting the playtest concept, but actually having a concept and not a already basically fully done game, and then saying, hey, help us change the UI or something. They're like, no, you're really gonna shape how this game goes,
Mm-hmm.
So can't wait to see what actually becomes of this, if anything becomes of this.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually I can't say that because it's still using the same netcode as the Switch. But I was gonna say maybe they're testing out actual netcode that can support more than 8 players online. But I guess with the we've seen Mario Party come out with 20 players at the same time. Is it 20? I think it is. What else has a high player count for a Nintendo game? I think that's about it.
There's that one. Is it F-Zero 99?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess we can count the 99 games. All of the 99 games. But they're all 2D and
Yeah.
but at least F-Zero, you're actually on the same field. Like the Tetris and the Pac-Man, they were like you were basically by yourself in Tetris. It's just other stuff happening on like with other players. Pac-Man, there was only 4 people at the same time, and you would like move to another map of 4 people, but it was never like 99 people on the screen. F-Zero, they were like, no, there are 99 people on the screen. So that's the one I'm like, okay, I see y'all testing out that new net code is actually doing something. Because I think they upgraded the net code in like 2021 or 2022, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Nintendo, but also count your days. You have anything else to say before we wrap it up?
Nah. I'm curious about this game for sure. We'll see what it becomes. Is there a code name for it or anything?
I think the one that you were reading said it was like rock.
Oh yeah. Codename Rockstock.
Yeah, Rockstock.
Okay, interesting. Yeah,
I was thinking Rock Chalk Jayhawks, the Kansas City Jayhawk. I think that's what they are. That's where my girl had went to school for a bit at KU.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, fuck the Jayhawks. I hate that is their saying. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. What the fuck is that? That is a terrible slogan. Backwards ass school. Shout out to all my Kanzanians or whatever. However you say it. What are Kanzanadians, Kanzanites, wherever y'all are? Shout out to y'all, weirdos. But that is it. That is all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning in and for all the good people in the chat leaving comments. We do appreciate the support. Make sure you guys hit that like because we love you guys and it helps us grow this channel. If you're not subscribed and enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated for when Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast returns. And with that, let's get some outros out of the way. Subagels, Another great episode. 10 times in a row. We 10 for 10, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, sir. We are.
Where can we find you? What you got going on?
Yes, sir. So, y'all can find me on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch. YouTube and Twitch is Subagels, Subagels. Twitter, it's Subeg Dual-Wield. I'm not gonna be talking that much on there, so if y'all want to hear my thoughts on shit, y'all gonna have to come here. I am also going to be reviewing Echoes of Wisdom, as I've said. I gotta get through the game, capture some footage, write out some thoughts about it first. But I'm gonna first focus on enjoying it and getting through it. And yeah, y'all can find me here, of course. Y'all can find me on the streets if y'all want. Y'all can find me at the gym if y'all are inclined. I actually made a buddy at the gym. He actually he says hi to me when he sees me, and he gets on my ass sometimes. He's like, "Bro, when you gonna put out a new episode?" I'm like, "Bruh, to be honest, I haven't even thought of an episode idea in like a while, so I gotta think of it." But yeah, no, shout out to the people, man. Shout out to the people. Y'all can find me on the social media at Lognet for sure, and Twitch, Twitch most likely, because I am trying to at least stream once a week. So y'all can at least find me there at least once a week. But yeah.
Alright. As for myself, Otaku, you can find me on Twitter at PastaFeet, F3ET. I'm on there a lot. And we starting to stream on Twitter, starting with the last week's Project Untitled Gaming Podcast. So we doing a little dual streaming on YouTube and Twitter, so y'all can check out Project Untitled on Twitter as well. What else? Twitch.tv/Don Solo, SOLOW. You ain't gonna find me there anytime soon. I'm trying to see what game would I stream on there. Maybe some COD. Maybe some COD.
Okay.
Might maybe. Look, just be on the lookout. Maybe I'll stream some COD this week or next week, one of those.
For sure.
And then of course you can find me right here on YouTube, Don Otaku, where we do the Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast, as you can see here, but also Project Untitled Gaming Podcast every Saturday, usually 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. or I should say 12 to 2:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm forgetting which time zone I'm in, or which time zone I mark it for. I don't even know. I just switch time zones and I just don't know anymore. But yeah, Dual-Wield every Thursday, at least that's how it's been, every Thursday, usually 12 p.m. Pacific time. So yeah, with that, any final words for the people before we let them go?
Final words for the peeps. I'm not gonna leave y'all with some workouts to do. I'll say this: do not hog the machine, please, because I did leg day yesterday, and I did 4 different leg workouts. I did the laying leg curls. I did calf raise. I did leg press, and then I did dumbbell RDLs. And I did all those 4 while waiting for the hack squat machine to get open. But the guy that was on the hack squat machine was on there for almost an hour. So I was like, holy shit, like bro, you literally are on the same machine for a whole hour. Anyways, don't hog the machines. Do your 3 sets, 10 to 12 reps, 8 to 12 reps, and let the other person try to hop on. But yeah. Stay hydrated out there for sure.
Yeah, I'm not hydrated this episode. My throat is killing me right now. As for me, go play Doki Doki Literature Club. That's all the advice you need. It's literally free. Don't fuck with me. Go play it. Come back in the comments and tell me how it changed your life. And yeah.
For sure.
With that, let's get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your life. Enjoy everything, bro. Enjoy something. Peace out. Bye-bye. Have a great day.